The entire room was decorated with flowers, candles, and light. The bed was decorated with a canopy of strings of white flower and red roses between it on all four sides. Even the walls also have flowers on it. Long vases were kept on the side tables and fresh red roses in it. These all decorations were done by their friends, who left immediately after their work. A bride with white suit was sitting at the center of the bed. With his hands around his knees, he was waiting for his husband. Their marriage has held in church, and their friends around very simply. And they didn't want it as a big celebration as his husband do not like all this. He also likes simplicity but has wishes for his marriage which didn't got fulfilled, but still he was happy as he loves his husband very much and wants to live with him forever. His wait came to end when his husband entered the room with shutting the door with the noise. He was in his business suit with the frustration and anger clearly showing on his face. He directly moved to the mirror and started removing his watch and other accessories. At last, removing the coat, he took his clothes from his cupboard and dashed to washroom, ignoring his bride. He was just watching his husband, ignoring him. He is doing this from the time he said yes for marriage. But every time he ignored his presence, he felt bad and hurt. He suddenly remembered his appearance and remembered mm, how he had requested him to at least wear wedding suit on their wedding, but he denied, saying, "I am marrying you against my wish. Is not enough for you that you want me do more things which I do not like. Do not hope that much from me, Jungkook. This is the last time I talked with him, that too in front of the designer." With the whisper, Tai got down from the bed and moved to the dressing table and started removing his jewelry, thinking where his life had brought him. He always wants to come to his room as his dies. But now, when he is actually here, he is not happy that much, how much he should be, just because of the sadness and anger. He went to his room to change his clothes, as he do not have any clothes here in the room. Tai was standing under the shower, taking the cold shower to calm himself down. He was feeling angry and helpless at his situation. He had decided to marry him for his secure future, and now when they got married, it was becoming difficult for him to accept him as his wife. For him, he is only his responsibility, which he has to fulfill his whole life now. His heart was heavy when his thought towards the incident from where all this started, how he fell in love with, how they were happy with each other. But one incident changed everything and made his life loveless and silent. Flashback 2 years ago. Ty was handling his father's company, Kim Corporation, after completing his fashion designing and MBA. He was all lost in his work, only as it distracted him to think about his family who died in the car accident. Then something happened which led him Jian Jang Yuan, who became his PA. Eventually, they became very good friends and gradually came in the relationship. They used to think themselves perfect with each other. As young Jang-yeon was living alone in his life and On's family love, he proposed Young soon for marriage, and Yeon happily answered yes to him. They were all set to marry each other, but as Tae wanted it all simple with their only friends and Yeon's brother around, as Tae do not have anyone other than him. They were going to marry in the church where lawyers were present to register their marriage. That unfortunate day, Tae and Jang-yeon were outside the church. Tae parked his car at the parking and moved to other side, opened the door for Jang-yeon. He held out his hand for Jang-yeon and he came out smiling, holding Tae's hand. Their friends and lawyers were present in the church waiting for them. They were happy and was stealing glances of each other lovingly and was going to church, talking to each other. As there was crowd at the road near the church, I had to park his car little away from the church. Now they were walking towards the church, holding each other's hand. They were talking when Jang suddenly frowned and said, Tai, you know I really do not want to marry you without my brother. Please, cannot we marry some other time? Tai, Yun, I know you are missing him, but you only told me that he's out of town of his important project, right? And cannot come back for 2 months at any cost. And I cannot wait 2 months to marry you, he said with irritation. He do not like his brother, as he was always busy in his career and studies, not giving time to Jang-yeon, who is his only family. He had not even met him in whole time of their relationship. Suddenly, Ty's phone started ringing. He removed his hand from Jang-eun's hold and saw the number. The call was from unknown number. As he is businessman and the unknown number can also be important. Attending the call, unknowingly he starts walking forward, leaving Jang-young behind. Was coming slowly. Time. Hello, time speaking. Who is this? Said answering the call. The call was from his client who wanted to talk about the project. He said that he will talk later to him and hung the call. He kept the phone in his pocket with a scream from behind, making him turn jerkingly. Tai Young Tai came back to present by his newly wedded wife, voice calling him loudly. He shouted from the washroom irritably. Tai hot? JK asked with concern. JK, are you okay? I was calling you for long time but you were not answering. Tai said, getting irritated with JK. Tai, being you here, how I can be okay? Jungkook sadly sat on the bed, removing the flower petals from the bed. He just called him as it was a long time. He was in a room. When he came back after changing, not seeing Tai in the room, he got tense thinking he is in the washroom. So far, he will catch cold if he won't come out now. That's why he called him. He cannot take risk with his health. Tai came out from washroom in his night suit and rushed towards the cupboard as usual, ignoring JK. Taking extra blanket and pillow, he started making bed on course when suddenly a hand stopped him by holding his hand. Tai, what's your problem, Jungkook? He shouted at JK, removing his hold from his hand. Jerkingly, he shouts, scared at JK. Tears gathered up in his eyes. He was very hurt. Tai held JK's shoulder tightly, boiling in anger. JK was staring at him with tears faintly rolling down from his eyes. The pain and hurt was reflecting in his eyes. Tai, I have married you only to fulfill my promise and your stubbornness, but won't ever respect something which I have accepted from his husband, shouted loudly, looking at JK with anger. Jungkook was very scared and hurt, but controlling his emotion, he looked up at Tai at his eyes and asked him, JK, but what is my fault if I fell in love with you? Tai, your fault is that you fell in love with your brother's love, he said, shouting, leaving shoulder with